Welcome everybody to ESC Fan TV. It's Sunday night, it's 10 p.m. Central European time, and it's just over 24 hours since the first semi-final of I always said Melody Grand Prix. I've done it the other way around now. Let's start that bit again. Melodifestivalen in Sweden, the first semi-final, all the way from Linköping on the 1st of February. Today is obviously the 2nd of February, and we are now going to give you our views on whether the right winners went through, whether the right two went to Andra Chansen, and did Sweden make any mistakes with the other songs which did not qualify. Who is on the show tonight? First of all, we say hello to my far left. We say hello to Elliot.
Hello, everybody. Happy to dissect this for 6 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a long process, isn't it? And we also say hi all the way to Norway. To Norway, we say hi to Morten. Hi, Morten.
Hi, guys. Looking forward to a great show.
Yes, it should be fun. Should be fun when we dissect all these songs. Welcoming back onto the show, we have ESC Fan TV legends. We have Phil and Michelle.
Hello.
Hello. Chin chin.
Hey.
Chin chin indeed. We also say hello to London Vision's very own Andy Brooke. Hello, Andy.
Hello. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm the one, like on Strictly, that gets kicked off first. Wasn't really wanted. Has nothing to say. Leaves with a check.
Except you're not getting a check. Anyway, moving on. We say hello all the way to Sweden. It's, of course, ESC Fan TV's very own Swede. It's Gustav.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new bedroom.
and can we just ask you, Gustav, where is Daddy this evening?
Daddy's asleep on the sofa.
Good. Hello to Ahmet, all the way from Turkey. Great to be here. Just a few housekeeping rules. As always, make sure you leave all different types of comments on the chat. We will endeavour to read them out and also comment on them. Hello to Aline. Hello to Balint from BHTV. Hello to Joanne. Lots of different people in the chat already. Hello, Karen's all the way from Latvia. Good to see you all in the chat room this evening. Make sure you click the like button. Make sure you click subscribe. And, of course, if you are sick to death of our faces, you can listen to us on our podcast on, what is it, Tom? It's Apple Podcast and Spotify.
It is, but you haven't introduced me yet, Stuart. I was there for my introduction. I was like,
I haven't. Oh. That's because you get the special. You get the special time. Of course. Let me welcome my co-host, as always, the man himself, the man who, quite honestly, should be stuck in Norway because he spent so much time covering it of late. It's Tom.
Hey, hello. Yes, give me a Scandinavian country and I'm there. Norway, exactly. Sweden, Denmark, do the lot.
Yes, exactly. Should we get stuck into it?
Yes.
Because it's their first semi-final of Sweden. Sweden have, of course, 7 songs in the first semi-final and 7 songs every one after. We're going to get straight into it. Song 1. What was song 1? Song 1 was the Mamas with the song Move. Now, we're not going to talk about who went through and who didn't yet. We are just going to talk about the songs themselves. And I'm interested in your thoughts. Andy, what did you think of this song? And he's on mute. Great start. Don't worry, we'll edit it out. No one will ever notice. Andy, what do you think of Moves?
I said moves. I said I like the mamas and I like their papas.
Okay.
I'm trying to be metrosexual. Great song. Not your standard gospel song because it's a bit lighter than that. They were miming it, mind you, or at least it looked like they were on my TV. But great song. And they can sing.
Yeah, it's a bop, wasn't it? Elliot, what do you think? He's on mute as well.
God damn it. It was all right. It was fine. It was exactly what I expected from them. It was fine. They had fun on stage. My main question was why were 2 of them in those chiffon capes and the one in the end didn't? Is she like the Michelle Williams of this group? She just doesn't get the same outfit as the others. Because 2 of them were dressed up nicely, then she was like missing her cape, but hey ho. It was a good opener at least, and it was the right call to put them on first, I feel like.
It certainly was, yeah. And Morten, obviously you were busy in Norway last night with the Melody Grand Prix, but you've clearly caught up on Melfest now. What did you make of this first song of the evening?
Of course, it was, in my opinion, the best song. Even from the first snippet that we heard with 1 minute, I was like, okay, this is the best one. Heard it live, actually at Melody Grand Prix, because I actually didn't like the semi-final. So I was so bored backstage that I had to watch Melodifestivalen instead. But yeah, I really loved the move, and I love their energy, and I think they sounded all right. Maybe a little bit of improvement next time.
I quite like the dancing. That kind of like this, a kind of jiggy thing they were doing with their hands was kind of cool, wasn't it? It was good, wasn't it? To be honest, if you like John Ludwig, you would have loved this song. I actually thought it was better than John Ludwig's song from last year, just my opinion. Keen on to know what Gustav thinks in a second, but before we go to Gustav, what did Phil and Michelle think?
No, I didn't like it.
To be honest, I thought it was a solid performance. You know, the vocals were good, the harmonies were tight. It was a decent enough opener, but it just lacked a bit of oomph. It just needed a bit more to it, I think. That was the problem.
I thought they sounded a bit ropey when they were singing on their own, but together they were fantastic. But why put them in black against a black background? I thought the staging was shocking. It's like, if I go to see a band, if they're in black against a black background, it really, really, really aggravates me. I just thought it was a bit meh.
It felt a bit of a carbon copy of John Ludwig's song last year in the staging. Staging more so than the song. Very similar, all in black drop. Great lighting. Yeah, very similar. Did anyone get a kind of a feel of let's take you back to Destination Eurovision in France in 2019. It's very similar to the kind of the divas. And Tom, you want me, yeah, exactly. You want me to come to you now, don't you? What do you think of this?
Do you know what, Stuart? I'm a sucker for a good medley. I'm a sucker for harmonisation. Let's face it, I loved it. It was exactly what I wanted them to produce. Let's face it, down to the outfits, down to the staging. It was typically exactly what I thought they'd come up with. You know, they sang, they delivered, they were brilliant from start to finish.
It was good to see Melanie Webber back, wasn't it? Well, Melanie Webber, if you didn't know, was also one of Michael Rice's backing singer dancers last year on stage in Tel Aviv. Gustav, what did you make of this, and what are the press saying about this song this morning?
You know what? I love this song, but I don't think anyone is surprised. But I didn't like the 1 minute clip that much, so I was like, I hope this song is good, and it was. What the press said, I don't really know, because I have been busy moving, so I haven't read anything about what the press said. And then we had the whole thing that happened today about next week. So that was what everyone was talking about.
Yeah, I guess we'll get on to Torsten Frink slightly later on. Song one, the Mamas with Move. We'll come on to the results shortly. Let's move on to song two. So this is very different. Suzi P with the song Moves. 16-year-old newcomer. She's released a couple of singles in 2019. Sort of urban dance pop beat to it, bit of hip hop in there. What did we think of this? Let's go to Elliot.
It's funny you mentioned Destination Eurovision earlier, because the first thing I wrote down was Tracy Dessar, but not as good. It was so similar, but she had no personality on stage. Like, she's like, she was like basically singing the moves, and she was doing this. Like, if you're going to lead like a dance thing, have some energy about you. I just think she got way too overwhelmed by it all, and plus I hated what she was wearing. She looked like she was about to go in the oven at 250 for 20 minutes. No, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, sadly.
It was. I've actually written down here, Tracy Dessar, whiskey cocktails, rum. Definitely reminded me of that of Destination Eurovision last year. It's like, it's not weird. There's two songs that are straight out of Destination Eurovision, the first semi-final of Sweden. Morten, what did you make of Tracy Dessar? Sorry, Suzi P.
I didn't think it was too bad, but like it wasn't nearly good enough to go to the final because the staging didn't give me anything. Her energy was like a bit off for the song, in my opinion, and you could hear on her voice that she was kind of nervous, and that it was like she's too fresh for this, if you know what I mean. But I don't think this was the right time for her, unfortunately. I would like to see her another time at Melodifestivalen.
I thought the song was kind of a bit odd, a bit ironic. The title was Moves, given that I felt she was very static. Great singer. Actually, I think she had one of the better vocals of the evening. However, performance-wise, given she had backing dancers behind her, I just didn't see her moving with any fluidity. It was very static. Phil and Michelle, what did you make of it?
I thought she was like, do you remember when Britney Spears turned up to the MTV Europe Music Awards and went, no, I can't be arsed with this, and just sort of just went through the motions and got paid and just waved and went. She was a bit like that. It's like she turned up and went, I'm not in the mood for this, can't be bothered.
I don't know. I mean, it looked, the outfits and everything looked like an 80s sci-fi show. But
you loved it then, did you?
Well,
Yeah.
The problem was, I thought the vocals were a bit shaky in places, and then the dancing was a bit shaky in places. And I don't think she can do both things at once. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, he's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. She could only do one. I just put down maybe it was one for the youth, and that's why I didn't get it.
Well, given she's 16 and that kind of genre, I think to be honest, it's probably more for the younger generation. But it's interesting that there's two songs of a similar genre that both didn't qualify. We'll come to. Andy, what did you make of this?
Yeah, well, I thought this one and the other one of a similar genre were just piss takes of black culture.
Is that it? Is that all we're getting?
Yeah.
Well,
He's got a valid point, I think.
It was absolutely fine, start to finish. I mean, God, she can't. Poor girl, 16. She's dressed up like a turkey about to go in the oven. And she's got a young black man's song to sing, and she's giving it a bit. I could have done a better job, and that isn't saying much.
Yeah, she wrote it.
Well, that doesn't make it any better, does it?
God, Gustav, help me out here. Give me some positivity about Suzi P, please.
First of all, I have to say that she was very clear that you can't say Suzi P. You have to say Suzi P, because
Okay.
P sounds like P, and she didn't want to sound like P. And sadly, I don't have anything positive to say about this, because I really, 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 really dislike this song, and the performance didn't make it any better at all. So next.
Yeah, let's move on. Tom, round this off. Give us
Well-
some positivity about Suzi Pay. Was
Do
it
you know
Pay?
what's- do you know what, Stu? I think now would be a great time just to take a look at the chat room, because there are so many people contributing tonight. And I think that's a fantastic thing. Massive hellos to Aline, Amit,
Hang on.
Karins,
No,
to
no,
Martin
no, no,
Palmer, to David, to Captain Swedish. It's great to see everyone contributing, and I think keep your comments coming, because we love to hear from you. Should we move on, Stuart?
No, we haven't had your thoughts yet. You can't get out of it that well.
I'm just wondering how you're gonna get up after the show, Tom, because you're clearly sat on a very spiky fence. Let's move on. Song 3, Robin Bengtsson. Of course, has done Eurovision before. This song was Take a Chance. And yeah, what did we think of Take a Chance? This you can't say Take a Chance without thinking ABBA, really, can you? And that was kind of what was going. Not an ABBA song, but it was going through my head. Definitely a bit of a bop to it. Gustav, what do you think of this?
I love this song. I love this song so much. And I think it's a very Swedish song. Like, this is a song that we love in Sweden, but not necessarily is loved anywhere else. It has this great little Lale screams, and like in the end, it was just great. Then he didn't perform it very well, so that's another thing. I actually think that it was better the second time, when he had actually gone through. Like, he delivered better that time.
He's got to be the coolest man in Sweden, right? I mean, he's obviously a real good looker.
Yeah, he's the hottest at least.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought his vocal was good. I thought it was one of the best of the night. Andy, what did you think of this?
Lovely blouse. I'd like one like that. Right, okay. So Piccadilly Circus and Leicester Square. It's a family thing, isn't it? Didn't his mother sing that Piccadilly Circus song?
No, that was Benjamin Ingrosso. Can we get a different panel, please?
Hang on, no. Oh, right, okay. They are the same person anyway. Right, I quite liked it actually. I thought it was all right. But he didn't sing it very well. But I don't think he was meant to sing it very well. It's one of those songs that needs to be taken in a pedestrian sort of way. So I think he suited it.
I thought he suited the song. Yeah, definitely. Elliot, what did you make of Take a Chance?
I think this is the perfect example. If your name is big enough, people will vote for you. The song was okay. The tempo was nice. I was tapping my foot along to the tempo. But firstly, why are you singing about the tube? You have your own metro. Get your own. Secondly, it sounded a bit like a stalker song. I purposely got off at Leicester Square to see you better. Run, lady, run. And I liked it until he came off the platform bit and he started singing Take a Chance with the pauses. And I was like, oh, that just sounds like such a naff musical thing to do. And I was really enjoying it up until that moment. And that just killed it for me. I mean, glad he's back. Glad he's doing some music. He's only released one song since I Can't Go On. So glad to see he's still alive. But it was okay. Is it going to do it? Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, it just proves that if you're good looking enough or have a big enough name in Sweden in this competition, you're going to get a better result regardless of how well you sing.
I was getting Ed Sheeran vibes from this song. There was
Where?
definitely I was getting Ed Sheeran in this song, and I think it's got a great hook and a great chorus. I could see Jimmy Johnson or Jimmy Jansen or whatever he's pronounced. He's got great pedigree in this contest, hasn't he? He's all the best songs he seems to have some involvement with. I think this is going to go quite far, and I think it's a grower. Interesting, I just saw a comment from Joe. Joe's saying it's growing on her. Same with me. I think it's starting to grow on me too. Good. Let's talk to Morten. Let's find out what Morten's thoughts are.
In my opinion, this is one of the best songs in a weak Melodifestivalen semi-final. I have to be honest, because I didn't really like so many of the songs. I like the Mamas and kind of Robin's song. Like, it had a good catch, and he actually could sing live, which was a huge problem last night. So I'm not the biggest fan of the song, but the staging was really good. Like, I can see the difference between Melodifestivalen and Melodi Grand Prix here in Norway. Like, there are two different levels on staging. So hats off to that. Yeah, it was an okay qualifier to the final, in my opinion.
Yeah, but you're just doing regional heats at the minute. You wait till you get to the final. I bet you've got something big coming. Yeah. Phil and Michelle, Robin Bengtsson, what did we make of it?
Well, I wonder if people liked it more because it came after Suzi P. If it had come after the Mamas, would people still be loving this as much? I just put down it's probably going to be popular with a lot of middle-aged women.
For me, I thought it was a nice enough song. It was a little bit dated, maybe, but I think he went through on his name rather than the song.
Yeah, and he winked.
Well,
don't like a wink.
I don't think it was a song for him. Myself, it certainly was. It wasn't I Can't Go On or that sort of league. It was okay, but nothing special.
Well,
unfortunately.
At least he's not effing and jeffing. He's cleaned it up this time.
Well, when he did I Can't Go On, to be fair, when he got to the final, he swapped the F word for something completely different. Someone remind me what he swapped it for.
Oh.
Freaking, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, and finally, Tom, round it off.
Do you know what? I kind of agree with Elliot on this one. It's a good song. I'm not going to deny that. I found some of the melody quite predictable, and I'm sure I've heard some of the refrains before. But yeah, I just found it all a bit flat. I found Suzi P a bit flat. I found Robin a bit flat. And I kind of expected a bit more from him, to be honest, because I really enjoyed his song I Can't Go On, and so I was maybe my expectation was unfairly too high.
I was going to ask that later, actually. Do we think our expectation levels for Melfest are that much high now? Our standards or expectation standards are that much high than when you get a semi-final, maybe with 3 or 4 songs, which are pretty average, in fairness. we start thinking, well, what is Sweden doing? But in reality, there's 3 more semi-finals to come, and it can only get. If you think back 12 months, there probably was 1 or 2 semi-finals where the quality wasn't that good either, but you still end up with a final that's fantastic.
I mean, yes, I agree with that. Because I remember in 2018, we were saying the winner wasn't coming from semi-final 1, which is where Ben competed from. But when you have got Robin, who's done Eurovision, Malou, who's a breakout star, the Mamas, who have just done it as well, and Felix, who came second 2 years ago, all in the same heat, your expectations are going to be high because they're 4 of the biggest names in Sweden. So I think it's right that our expectations are up there. They've got their biggest stars all in one heat.
Yeah. Okay, song 4, Malou, who competed last year, came 12th. This time with the song Ballerina. Elliot, kick us off. What did you make of this?
Well, it was my favourite, to be honest. I really like the song, and I think it is a great dark pop ballad sort of thing. I like the staging. I liked what she was wearing. I like the idea of it. The only thing is that she really struggled with this last night for some reason. Like in the big note after the second verse, she just wasn't hitting it because she fell out of it and then came back into it again. And for some reason, I don't know why, it just didn't work for her as well as I Do Me did last year. It's a great song. It's probably just as good as I Do Me. But for some reason last night, it just didn't work for her, sadly, which is a shame because I love Malou. And she has got the potential to win and be an absolute star all over the world. But just last night, for some reason, it didn't click. But it's still a great song and with a great melody and lyrics, I feel.
And Morten, what did you make? What did you make of this?
When I heard the 1 minute snippet, I was like, this is the best song of the semi-final. And when I heard it live, I was like, okay, the staging is good. I really like the song still, but she just couldn't sing last night. I don't know what happened. Like, she has a good voice, but something happened, like, from start to finish. I didn't feel like it hit me like it did in the first minute snippet, or if she had sung it perfectly last night. But I think that lost a lot of votes just by that. So I think it's okay that she went, that she didn't go through to the final. But I hope she can fix her singing for Andra Chansen.
Yeah, I just kind of felt that it was the type of song I've heard many, many times before. I didn't feel there was anything unique about it, but just my personal view. Phil and Michelle, what did you think of the song itself?
I thought it was all right. She quite liked it. I wouldn't go mad on it. Sang it okay. I'm not sure what the dancer was doing, but it wasn't ballet. I think it looked more like Conan's dancer from Eurovision last year.
Or Portugal.
I thought, well, Elliot seemed to love what she was wearing. I thought that was a shocker. She looked like a sack of spuds. It was awful. And then interpretive dancing, yeah, we all love a bit of interpretive dancing. Oh, no, why? If you're going to sing Ballerina, at least put a ballerina on. It's, at least make a bit of sense. But I thought the shot with the close-up of the dancer with her and everything, I thought that was creepy as anything. No, it's wrong. Stop it. It was awful. Awful. Don't like it.
Andy.
Oh, well, the lyrics were dreadful. And the rhyme, I can't remember now what it was. The rhyme with ballerina, it was like our wiener. I was just awful.
It was a botched way of saying screen and arena.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't as good, I'll admit. That line was a bit weak, but Thomas Giersen isn't known for his writing skill, let's be honest.
Oh, is it Thomas Giersen? Oh, no.
It's a Thomas Giersen song, the bloke who wrote Euphoria, and that's basic as well. So.
Yeah. He's written a load of shit as well, and this is one of them. Right, my main problem with this is that she doesn't have the attitude she's trying to convey. You can only get away with being this sort of edgy thing if people believe it. And I didn't believe it. I just believed that somebody said, right, act a bit edgy. Go on, girl. Go on. Be a bit edgy. All right. No.
Yeah, interesting point, because last year's song I Do Me there was quite a sort of an innocence about it, whereas this, you're right, it's more edgy and maybe harder to do on stage. She's on her own for most of it, then in comes the ballerina or the dancer. Harder to pull off, and in fairness, vocally I felt she struggled. Gustav, what did you think?
I agree with what everyone said. I really like this song, and I was shocked that she was so off when she sang. With that said, it was the best staging of the night, especially on that dreadful scene we have this year.
Oh, you're not keen on the stage itself?
No, it's just so dark all the time.
Okay. We'll come back to that point in a minute. Tom, Malou, what did you think?
What? I quite enjoyed this song. I thought, yes, she didn't get it quite right, but I think Martin in the chat room's actually got a very good point to make about that. When he says that Anna Bergendahl said she needed Andra Chansen to get Ashes to Ashes right. And I think she's got a good vocal range. She's clearly pushing herself vocally. I think the song's got a hell of a lot going for it. And you know what? I think this could, when you get through to Andra Chansen, I think this could actually prove to be quite a surprise package for it, because I think the expectations now aren't as high as they were when she was competing last night. And I think she's going to come in on Andra Chansen in a couple of weeks' time, and I think she's going to absolutely smash it, because the song is worthy of it.
There you have it. So let's move on to song 5. Song 5, OVO with Inga Problem. So they're quite famous. In 2018, they had a hit, Zara Larsson, about Zara Larsson in Sweden. Yeah, sort of back to hip hop, pop and dance. It's quite a mix there. Very similar to Panatos from a few years ago in Sweden. What do we think of this one? Let's go to Gustav first. Gustav, what do you think?
When I first heard a snippet of this song, I tweeted one word, and it was no. And I kind of had that feeling for the whole week. It's just no. No.
Well, that's it. Just no. Andy, what did you make of this? He's not found his mute button. We'll come back.
I know I found my mute button.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have, dear.
I was just giving myself a little reminder of it. It was all right. It was more authentic than some of the songs we've been talking about earlier in the evening. Well, it wasn't my cup of tea. But because it's not my cup of tea, I don't feel that I'm the best person to judge the quality of the song.
Okay, we'll move on then. We'll move on. Phil and Michelle, what did you make of this?
Well, you know I love it when my mum comes on and does a turn for us all. I thought it was brilliant.
No, this is OVO.
Oh, is it OVO? Is it that one?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Oh, yeah. I've been drinking. I actually like the
Sorry,
stages.
hang on. What song are you on?
OVO.
She's now.
She is
I've got
now.
my fingers out on OVO.
What song were you on?
On Sonja. Bloody love it.
Hang on a minute. How have you missed one whole song? How's that happen?
Well, it wasn't very
OVO.
memorable.
OVO, go on.
I get
Back to you.
confused. I thought what they were wearing was distracting. But I didn't mind the song. I thought the song was all right. Had a nice beat to it.
I thought one of the stronger ones.
I thought the beat was all right,
Yeah.
but I thought it was just a bit monotone, and the performance just looked like they were phoning it in a bit. You know, there wasn't that much effort. I don't think so.
I thought
the
ending just fizzled out. It just
Part of the problem is that type of song just generally doesn't do that well at Melfest, as we saw, because both songs of the similar genre finished bottom. But I thought as a song and as a performance, I actually thought it wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty good. And I was a little surprised it did as badly as it did. But there we go. Morten, what did you make of this one?
I have to agree with Eileen in the chat that it gave me like Soldi vibes. It was like a bad version of Soldi, and I don't like Soldi at all in the first place. So I just have to say that it's just not my type of song. Even though it wasn't too bad, it was just like Soldi. It isn't my type of song, and it isn't like a song that I want to listen to on my spare time and when I'm on the bus and everything. So I think it was fair enough that it went out of the semi-final last night.
Fair enough. Elliot, what did you make of Soldi?
I didn't get solely from this at all. I don't know where that comparison is coming from Aline or Morton. I'm sorry. I got bad British grime music done haphazardly in a weird chest harness fanny pack thing, and I just wanted it to. It sounded like it was going to go somewhere, and it never did. And that's the frustrating part. I was like, right, it's going to go somewhere eventually. Okay, maybe it will now. Okay, no. Oh, it's over. It just never went anywhere. It was 3 minutes of mid-tempo meh, and it was just crap. To be blunt, worse than night. It was crap.
It was a good fanny pack though, and let's face it, we love a fanny pack.
Who needs one there? It's a
high fanny pack. It's a high fanny pack.
It was a choice that needs to be burnt.
It's a choice. Tom, what did you think?
Um,
Can I just stop and say that this is a very weird semi-final. I'm yet to find someone who says I absolutely love a song. I'm hoping Tom's going to change all that with this one.
keep hoping. Keep hoping. I mean, it's always good to have some hope, isn't it? Right. Melfest songs are really good, but quite frankly, I agree with Morton in the fact that the music's not my cup of tea. And to be honest, I know people have said, some people said, it's a shock that it came near the bottom. But quite frankly, I mean, I'd call this almost the semi-final of death with the names that were in it anyway. So you were always going to have to produce something extra special to actually lift yourself up above the likes of, Robin, the Mamas, Felix, Malou. And yeah, it just didn't do it. The one that came closest was Sonja, and she's next. I don't know, Michelle likes that one.
It feels to me, based on the mood of the panel tonight, this may have been the semi-final of death for those watching it too. But let's move on to the next song. Song 6, Sonja Alden with Sluta aldrig ja. I'm going to go straight to Gustav because I know what a massive fan he is of Sonja, and he's going to tell me how I've just butchered the Swedish language, I suspect.
Yeah, you got everything wrong there.
Can you just tell me what it should have been then? Sluta aldrig ja. It's not, is it?
It's Sonja Alden with Sluta aldrig gå.
I think I was there. That's a bit harsh.
Yeah, no. So Sonja is probably one of the sweetest persons I've ever met in my entire life. And I have liked her music since I was a little kid. So I knew that whatever she would do, I would support it. With that said, I knew it wouldn't go anywhere. But I was so happy for her that she got the placement she got because I thought she would be last. It's an amazing song and it was a beautiful performance and she's just the best person ever.
If you like ballads, you were going to vote for this, right? It was the only ballad in the contest. And it was a good ballad. Not sure it was as good as her entry last time around, but and I appreciate you're a fan, so you're obviously going to like what she delivers. Morton, what did you think of this one?
This does not hit me at all. Like there's always a difference between a great, powerful ballad and just a boring ballad that doesn't hit you at all. And that is much like personal preference. And for me, it's a ballad that doesn't hit me at all. It doesn't give me anything. And I just almost went to sleep when I heard it. So, well, she's a good person. I have to admit. But her song, not my cup of tea. No,
not your cup of tea. Well, we must say thank you to Sonja because, of course, we met her, didn't we, Gustav? You interviewed her back at the beginning of this process, and she was really excited to be taking part again. So it's good to see her back on stage. Elliot, what did you make of this?
Well, she was definitely, for me, the second best vocalist of the night behind the Mamas. I thought she sang fantastically. I actually really liked her voice, and this was actually really sweet and pleasant. Obviously, it was never going to go anywhere, but it was, a sweet, pleasant 3 minutes, and she looked like she had the biggest smile on, having the time of her life out there. And you know what? More power to her. I shouldn't have enjoyed it, but I actually really did.
Yes, it was good. It was a good ballad. Phil and Michelle, what are your take? Or what is your take?
I'm not generally a big fan of ballads, but I quite like this. It was all right. And she sang it. The only real problem I had with this was all through the verse. I thought, oh, this is building up to a massive chorus, and then it kind of didn't. It just sort of petered out a bit, and I thought it needed a bit more behind it. That was the only problem I had with it, but it was nice.
It was
I
nice.
loved it. I loved it. I loved her. I wanted to be my mum, and when I grow up, I want to be her.
No words.
She's probably younger than me.
Andy. Mr. Brooke.
Yes, yes, no chance of her being your mum. He reminded me of Jill Johnson from 1998, who sung the song about Lady Di. Why did you have to go and die? In Birmingham, remember? She looked scary looking woman.
Charlotte Canard.
Charlotte Canard, yeah. Reminded me of that.
Look at Gustav's face. Have I mispronounced that as well?
Charlotte Canard. Yes.
Okay.
So it was 20 years out of date.
Okay, I'm going to move on. Tom, what did you make of this?
Do you know what? I return you back to what I said earlier, Andy. Andy, Stuart, even. To do something in this semi-final, you needed to provide something special, something that was going to stand out. She delivered a solid ballad. She delivered it in the Swedish language, which immediately made her stand out above all the others. And she thoroughly deserved to get into the top 5 last night. I thought it was beautiful. It was on point. It was exactly what was needed. Yeah, and I was so happy when she actually got into that top 5 as well. It was a real punch the air moment, actually.
Yeah, it was nice to see her up there in the top 5 as well. And she was very graceful when she found out that she wasn't going through to Andra Chansen, but we'll get to the results in a minute. Final song of the evening, song 7. But I think it's fair to say one of the favourites going into Melodifestivalen this year, Felix Sandman with Boys Without Emotions. Andy, what did you make of this?
I was really looking forward to seeing Felix again. I liked his song from guessing 2016, maybe 2017, and this no, it isn't as good a song. So it probably means it'll win.
I really got Benjamin Ingrosso vibes in the staging, the way that kind of the lighting was hitting him, the kind of backdrop, the fact that they had kind of like words scrolling across his face, and
but we've already established that I don't know Benjamin Ingrosso from the other one.
That is true. Yeah.
So, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Benjamin Ingrosso versus Robin Bengtsson. Yeah. Quite right. I'll move on.
He's very, very attractive.
Okay. We move on pretty quickly. Phil and Michelle, what did you make of this? Given that you weren't a fan of Benjamin Ingrosso, similar staging, I'm assuming this may go down the same path.
Well, you'd assume right. I like a song with a message. I'm glad it's a bloke message that they're trying to convey. But oh my God, did they miss the mark? What were they playing at? Nobody likes a creepy young lad. Why have they not worked this out?
See, for me, the thing is, a song with a message should make you think, and this song didn't do that. It told you what to think.
Yeah,
it was just laid on too thick.
It made me think, when's it going to end?
Well, that's it, yeah.
But they said it was going to be a banger. It was not a bloody banger. I know a banger. I've seen bangers. This is not a banger.
It's mid-tempo with a dance beat, isn't it? It had a very strong message. And I think back to last time he was in Melfest, he went to the Andra Chansen the first time around and then qualified, and he became one of the favourites from Andra Chansen. But I think back to his performance in the last time he was in Melfest, it was very emotional in his performance, whereas this was more concentrated on the performance, I felt, rather than necessarily the vocal. Elliot, what did you think?
Okay, I have major issues with this song and this performance. I'm going to say that outright. Bear in mind, he was the favourite to win the minute he got announced. Everyone was been hyping up Felix Sandman for about 2 months. He's now, where is he in the odds? 14th to win now. Sank like a stone. Great song lyrically. Amazing message, as Michelle said. But again, why was he sing-talking? He's not Billie Eilish. He can't do that. He sounded flat. The staging was crap. Why was it a dance thing with a message like that? He looked like a crap Justin Timberlake with his white suit. It was sarcastic with the tear and the faces. It looked like he was taking the piss out of the message of the song. And that really just got my back up, because it's a great message. And I get it, you don't want to sing it in a really woe is me ballad sort of situation. But this is the wrong way to go about it. It just looked naff. It came off cocky. It came off that I can do what I want and I'll get through because I'm Felix Sandman and I've been doing well for the last 2 years. And he's never gone direct to the final, even with 4-0. He's always had to go through Andra Chansen. And just given that this was the song that was supposed to win, and even he said it's the Swedish Soldi, he just bigged himself up for a massive fall last night. And I think he got what he deserved. And I'm glad the Swedish public called him out on it effectively and said, you're not good enough.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to the comments you're going to get and the heat off of this show, Elliot.
Bring it on! I stand by it. It was. He took the mick out of something very important. As you know, as someone who is very emotional and does have mental health myself, I think it was a massive slap in the face. I felt the same about Jordan Clark last year.
I will say that I liked what he was wearing, and if I ever need a painter decorator, I know where to call. Morten, what did you think?
Well, thank you, Elliot, for stealing everything I just wanted to say about this song.
At least it's not just me.
Like, I agree like 100% about everything you said. Like, the staging was like bad. His dancing, I don't know what it did. It was like dancing all over the place and looked like a monkey. I was like, what is going on right now? And like, the only good thing about this is the message. The staging was off. His voice was off. It was like one tone the entire song, it sounded like. And it just didn't work at all. And when I just heard the first minute snippet, I was like, this is not going to be good. And I was right, unfortunately.
However, as I had a similar view, as the day has progressed, I now really like it and I'm playing it non-stop and annoying everyone in my household because I'm singing along to it. And also, you can find a video of me doing it on TikTok. Just putting that out there. Gustav, what did you think?
Everyone is wrong. I absolutely love this song. I have also been playing it on repeat since yesterday. So that's the only thing good with him going to Andra Chansen, that I have been able to play the song the whole day. With that said, we have a Swedish gay magazine here in Sweden, and the Eurovision bloggers there have a thing where they say that this have been said one too many times about this entry, and I have to say that's the Benjamin Ingrosso thing. So with that said, I'm not going to comment anything about the staging, but the song is the best song from last night. I just love it.
Oh, we'll do best songs in a minute. And Tom, just round this off. What did you make of this?
Well, let's be honest, Stuart. It was all going so well. I've agreed with Elliot multiple times tonight, but you're wrong. This was one of the best songs of the night, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it from the word go. I had it as second best behind the Mamas in my own ranking. I thought he delivered the song well. Maybe it's because I wasn't listening too much to the lyrics and things like that. I was just kind of looking at the general performance and just listening to it and enjoying the song. And, you know, I think, like Malou, he's going to come back in Andra Chansen and it's going to be stronger and better than ever. And I think it's actually a contender, potentially, you know, to actually do really well and go through Andra Chansen and make it through to the final.
I think I'm going to put it out there now. It will definitely go to the final through Andra Chansen. No question. I think it's absolutely going to finish in the final. Whether it can do it in the final is another matter. Long way to go yet. Right, that's the 7 songs. Quickly go around the panel and just check who their 2 direct finalists would have been last night and whether they matched the results. Let's start with Morten.
Robin and the Mamas. I agree with the last night.
Yeah, okay. Phil and Michelle, who would you have gone with?
Sonja and Sonja.
I thought Malou might have gone through. I think the Mamas were always going to go through.
And Sonja.
No, I mean, bless her. He wasn't going to go through, but it was a nice song. But yeah, I'd have thought Malou and the Mamas rather than Robin. I think Robin only got through because he's a big name. and I think for me, he would have been an Andra Chansen candidate.
Thank you. And Andy, who would you have picked as your two to go through last night?
No, well, the mamas were head and shoulders above the rest, and Benjamin.
I assume you mean Felix.
No,
Or do you about Robin? Are we?
Robin.
This is all very confusing. This
Keep
evening.
up.
Very confusing.
It's very hard to keep up, Andy. You keep on interchanging the names.
He absolutely does.
Listen, am I not wanted? You are. No,
you're not.
Let me just say before I go that there isn't a song in this section that's going to be anything as good as even the worst song in San Remo, which starts on Tuesday and we'll be covering on ESC Fan TV. Even if none of you lot be watching it, we'll be having a show on Wednesday to guide you through all the songs, and we'll have a show on Monday where we talk about the Eurovision winner for 2020.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate the plug.
Not
And make
at
sure
all.
you do tune in for Andy's show. I'm sure so many of you will.
Yeah.
Elliot, what would you have picked?
The Mamas were just being the best all-round performance of the night, and Malou, because I still think there was a lot of potential and a really strong song there, so I'd have put her through as well.
Okay, Gustav?
Sorry, that took me a minute. I had Felix and Malou to the final and Robin and the Mamas to the second chance, so they just switched.
Okay, and then finally, Tom, who would you have put through?
I would have last night put the Mamas and Felix through as direct finalists, and for Andra Chansen, I would have sent through Malou and Sonja.
Thank you, Tom. For those in the chat room, keep your comments coming through. Make sure you click the like button. That is Melfest semi-final 1 done. Tom, what's next? What have we got on this week?
Well, Stuart, let's first of all, have you sent in your shout-out clips yet? 30-second videos on last night's semi-finals. Shout-out will be going live tomorrow. We've got tons of video clips in from you. We'd love to have some more as well. Send them to info@escfantv.com via WeTransfer by 11 o'clock Central European time, which means you've got 12 minutes. So as soon as we finish, you can go on there. Now, also, next up, Australia Decides preview. We got OJ Australia in yesterday to record some preview videos, and they're going to come to you in two parts, Monday and Tuesday night. That's at 8 p.m. Central European time. Also coming up, we have Andy's San Remo show, but also straight after that, I think it's a double dose on Wednesday night, because the Norway Melody Grand Prix semi-final review will be on Wednesday night as well, and that's 9 p.m. Central European time. And don't forget, the Melody Grand Prix semi-finalists drop in about an hour and 10 minutes time. It's midnight tonight that they drop, and you can start listening to those songs and get those opinions ready. We're a day earlier this week with it, but that's because we're all having so much fun. We just couldn't wait.
It's just non-stop ESC Fan TV, Tom, isn't it? And of course, we'll be back at the weekend for Norway, and of course for Melfest on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Central European time, both Saturday and Sunday night. I'd like to thank our guest this evening. Thank you to Elliot.
Thank you. I'll see you next time if I don't get caught by Swedish or Felix Sandman fangirls and killed.
I think you're in trouble. Thank you to Andy. Good luck with San Remo. Good luck with San Remo.
Thank you. I'll be there.
Thank you very much to Phil and Michelle. Great to see you, and the internet connection was great.
Yes, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to Morten. Great to see you, and excellent shows in Norway. I think you're going to have a great entrant this year as well.
Yeah, I think we'll already have heard the winner, Ulrike. But it was a pleasure to be here as well on Melodifestivalen for the first time, and I hope I don't hang out with Elliot while he's getting killed.
Yeah, and shout out to Ulrika, because she was shout out to Ulrika. She was interacting with us on the show this afternoon, on the show comments. So thank you to her, and thank you very much to Gustav. Gustav, good show in Sweden, even if the panel don't think so. Hopefully there's better to come.
Well, I already told you that the panel was wrong, didn't I?
You did.
Bye, everyone. It was nice to see you again.
And thanks to my co-host, as always, to Tom.
Thanks, Stuart. Another fantastic show. And I hear you're now about to jump on a plane and go off to the Gold Coast.
Metaphorically speaking, yeah, in mind and soul, maybe not body. But yeah, either way, it's going to be a good week. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow night for our Gold Coast special. At what time do we have it on? 8 p.m. Central European time on our YouTube channel. Do not miss it. It will be fire. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great rest of Sunday, and we will see you during the week.